Hey everybody out there in the YouTube universe, this is Mr. Movie, and in today's video we're going to be doing another top 5 list. If you watch my channel, you know that I don't do top 10 lists like other YouTubers do by genre. I do the top 5 movies that are in my collection by a particular actor or a particular director. In this case, we're going to be doing an actor. Sometimes I do topical ones, but today we're sticking to the script. For the movies to be considered, obviously the actor has to be in it, but it has to be in a starring role or a really strong supporting role. It can't be a bit part, it can't be a cameo. The character who the actor plays has to be integral to the story. You can't have the movie without them. So that's how I choose whether the movie is viable or not. It also doesn't have to be the actor's greatest acting performance, but it does have to be a great movie and they have to be great in it. So with that being said, today we're going to be doing the top 5 Sylvester Stallone movies that are in my collection. Sylvester Stallone, I would say, is one of the top action stars of all time. I always say that Arnold Schwarzenegger is number 1, but Sylvester Stallone is up there, and this was actually a pretty hard list to do. I mean, I have a lot of Sylvester Stallone movies, and he's a great action hero, so it was kind of hard to pick. Plus, he's a sneaky good actor. He does have some roles, and I did pick some of them, where it's not just, you know, punch, punch, explosion, gunshot, gunshot, punch, punch, explosion. It's, you know, he has some depth to his character, and he plays them well. What I really like about Sylvester Stallone too is he's a self-made guy. You know what I mean? Came from nothing, struggled, and built himself into one of the biggest actors in Hollywood history. So you got to give him credit for that. Jumping right into the list, gonna go with number 5. One of my personal favorites of all time is Tango and Cash. It's a complete and utterly ridiculous movie, but it's amazing. It's classic. Him and Kurt Russell, one of the best buddy cop movies ever. You know, the traditional trope, cops from 2 different worlds, hate each other at first, learn to like each other, respect each other, work together. And this movie is, though, shoot 'em, punch 'em, explosion. It's like I said, it's like one of those, though. But it's a really good story, really cool. You know, they get set up. You know, the best cops in LA, but they have very different styles, and they, you know, the big guy who's running the whole city crime-wise, who's Jack Palance, who's great in this movie. He wants to get these guys off the street because they're ruining his business with how good they are, and you know, they set them up, they send them to prison. One of the best prison sequences ever from when they get locked up to when they escape. Just they kick everyone's ass, and then there's just you know, the finale is just explosions and gunshots everywhere, and you know, they play off each other really well, and it's just a you know, knock down, drag them out, kick ass action flick. Perfect 80s movie with 2 great actors in Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone, who, like I said, play off each other so well. It's hysterical. It's so quotable. I mean, there is so many great one-liners in this movie. It's ridiculous. And just one of the all-time favorite 80s cheesy classic action movies that is in my collection. I love it to death. One of my favorite movies. Coming in at number 5, Tango and Cash. Coming in at number 4, very different tone. It's a movie some of you might not know. If you don't, you should really check it out. It's a badass 70s flick, and that's Nighthawks. It's the only movie I can remember Stallone having a beard in, and I don't mean like 5 o'clock shadow or you know a goatee. I mean a beard, like 70s thick beard. He's almost unrecognizable. But it's him. He's a cop. Billy D. Williams is his partner, and they're regular New York cops in the 70s. You know, they're just, you know, going undercover, you know, crime-ridden streets of New York. but they get pulled into this task force to go against this really bad terrorist called Wolfgar. And he's an international terrorist. They're not used to this kind of thing, but they get information that he's coming to New York. He's played by Rutger Hauer, badass, and they get trained in anti-terrorism tactics, which isn't what they're used to. But they're two of the best cops in the city, and they get volunteered for this thing, and it gets really personal with him, between him and the main terrorist. And they're going after each other and trying to kill each other, and it's a really suspenseful, thrilling action movie. And the end is just, there's a twist at the end that's really cool, but it really draws you in, and it really also affects your mind, because you're trying to figure out what this guy's next move is. I mean, he gets plastic surgery to change his appearance. It's that deep. He has little cells here and there, people that help him out, and it's really difficult to try to get this guy. He's on Interpol's list. He's an international terrorist. I mean, he does this for a living, and Stallone's just a cop. He's trying to figure all this stuff out and basically save the city. And some really intense scenes, great action, and I would say this is, if not his best, there's another movie on this list I might consider, but if not his best, his second best, just straight, truly acting performance of his career, in my estimation. It's not the simple thing with this. Very psychological. He's got to get deep into the character and also pull off the action and stuff. Really, really good movie, really underrated. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Coming in at number 4 is Nighthawks. Coming in at number 3 is the other movie that I say might be his number 1 acting performance of all time in terms of straight up acting, and that's Copland. This is a really good movie, and on top of it, the cast is stellar. I mean, there's so many great actors in this movie. And the idea of it, he's a small town sheriff in New Jersey of this town that basically everyone that lives there is a cop who works in New York City. And he wasn't able to be a cop because he saved this girl when he was young and she was young, dove in to save her because her car went off a bridge and into the water. He hurt his ear, could never become NYPD. So he always longed to be a cop. And he's surrounded by cops, and it's one of the safest neighborhoods in the world because it's all cops. But you come to find out that this town was set up by the mob to basically own a precinct. So there's all this corruption and all the stuff that, he finds out a little too late. I mean, De Niro's in this, Harvey Keitel's in it, Ray Liotta. It's such a stellar cast, and it's a great movie too. And it's about corruption, and it's about this, like I said, this town where it's all cops, and you figure what could go wrong, but a lot could go wrong. And basically the mob bought this town, their houses, their pools, all this stuff, a nice place for them to live, to basically control a whole precinct. And Stallone's character is the one who kind of outs this corruption and has to go against all these bad cops, and he ends up taking them all down. And really good movie. He gained some weight for it, so he's not all muscular, and he's not the usual guy that you see, kind of pudgy, so you don't expect much from him. And he's not that bright, it seems like, and he's kind of comfortable in his job because, what does he really have to do in a town full of cops, being a cop? But he does risk it all, and he exposes all this stuff, and it's a really good action movie in terms of cops and robbers type thing, but also just a really good acting performance by him, a good role, and just an all-around solid, cool cop movie. I suggest you should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Coming in at number 3 is Copland. Coming in at number 2, okay, this is all of the Rocky movies. So, even to Rocky Balboa. Now, I do this sometimes when there's a bunch of movies that are in a like a set, where there's a lot of sequels and it's one type of thing. I'll say, coming in at number 2, Rocky, but I like to pick my particular favorite and say that's the one. So coming in at number 2 is Rocky 3. Now, most people, I know people are going to want to kill me. There's the people who love Rocky 4 because it's, America versus Russia and the whole thing in Drago. Some people are going to kill me and say, how can you not pick Rocky 1? It's the original. It's what set it off. And then some people will kill me and say, it's, Rocky 2. I mean, he finally wins. He beats Apollo Creed and gets the title. I get all that. I agree with all the things I just said. But Rocky 3 is my personal favorite because if you argue with me against Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, you're crazy. And you still get Apollo Creed, you still get Mickey the manager, you still get his brother Paulie, you get his wife, you get all the cool Rocky stuff from the first one and the second one, but you get so much more action. And the quotes in this movie between Mr. T and the Hulk Hogan character when he fights a wrestler for charity, and he loses real badly, and then he ends up having to train under the guy who he beat in the second one, which is Apollo Creed. Takes him to the hood to train, and his manager dies. He's got to deal with that. Forget that. Rocky 3 is the best one. Now, is it over the top? Is it a little much? Of course it is, but it's Rocky. I mean, you hear every punch. I mean, guys get punched in the face 500 times in a fight and go down once or twice. It's a stretch to call these boxing movies. But that being said, 3 is the overall best one from beginning to end. So much crammed into one. And Rocky character is so iconic. I mean, it's synonymous with Sylvester Stallone. It's what really got him started. And just all the movies are good. I mean, people hate number 5. Even that one I can watch, with Tommy Gunn. I like them all, and even Rocky Balboa is great. Creed, it just goes to show you how great the character is, that you can make a million movies about this character and people will still get to see them, go to see them, love them, talk about them, say which one they like better. Real testament to the character and to Sylvester Stallone. So coming in at number 2 is Rocky altogether, but my personal favorite, Rocky 3. That being said about the character being iconic and a testament to Sylvester Stallone and characters he's come up with and his creativity and all that, and having multiple movies and people still love him, coming in at number 1 is Rambo. This is all of them too. Now, this is really tough for me. This is even probably harder than Rocky ones. Now, I put these all together again. So coming in at number 1, Rambo. But it was really tough for me to pick between First Blood and Rambo because they are kind of very different movies. Another great acting performance by Stallone in the first one, in First Blood. The soldier coming home from Vietnam, not getting, respected and, treated badly, and the cops screwing with him, and, the great action, but a much deeper movie and more of a traditional movie than just the bullet fest action-packed movies that came after it with Rambo and going on. But the Rambo, the second one being the First Blood Part 2, being my favorite and the one I'd probably pick only because it just took it to the next level. And it's the best one out of all of the ones that followed, in my opinion. And because he goes back and he goes to save the prisoners of war, and he's hiding in the mud and he's fighting against the Vietnamese and the Russians, and it's just mayhem, and it's just taken to the millionth degree. I have to pick that one. I mean, First Blood's a better movie. Let's be honest, it's a better film. But for what Rambo is, the iconic character he is, and what he morphed into, you gotta go with Rambo First Blood Part 2 as the best one. So I would have to say again, like I did with Rocky and I do with other ones that have multiple sequels, I put them all together and I say, coming in at number 1, Rambo. But my personal favorite is First Blood Part 2, which is the Rambo one. Very neck and neck with First Blood though. So going down the list, we got Tango and Cash at number 5. Number 4 is Nighthawks. Number 3 is Copland. Number 2 is Rocky. And number 1 is Rambo. If you like Sylvester Stallone and you got different movies, I mean, this was really hard to do. I got about 30, 40, I don't even know how many Sylvester Stallone movies I have. So it was really tough to choose. I like a lot of his movies. And he has a lot of different ones, you know, different types of ones. But mostly action, and like I said, one of the best action heroes of all time. So it was hard to pick. So if you like Sylvester Stallone, you have different movies I didn't name, or these in a different order, let me know in the comments. If you like this video and my other stuff that I put out, please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. Hit the notification bell so when I drop new videos, you get alerted. And in a lot of my videos, not all of them, but the majority of them, I wear t-shirts that is part of a bigger futuristic vintage umbrella that me and my partner have. He's the one that takes care of the t-shirt part of it. So if you want to order them or you want to check out the other ones he has, it's futuristicvintage.net. That's futuristicvintage.net. There's a coupon type thing you could get from there. If you mention the video, you get a percentage off. Got a lot to choose from, really cool t-shirts. Like I said, I'd say about 80% of the videos I wear them. So I don't have them all, but for the most part, you can see the ones that I wear are on the site. You could order them. They come in different colors and all different designs. Really cool. Check it out. Again, that's futuristicvintage.net. And like I said, if you like this video, please like it. Share it with your other movie nut friends if they like Sylvester Stallone or they're just into movies. And again, subscribe to my channel. Got a lot of cool stuff on there, and it's all about movies that are in the collection. So with that being said, this is Mr. Movie signing off, and I'll see you again next time at the Flicks.